Well, hey everybody, Kay here on my homestead. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to give you an update on my adventure in downtown Nashville 3 nights ago. Hey BJ, come here. BJ, come here. I posted a few updates, just pictures on my community page that night, and some people recommended I call the police. Well, I filmed the little clips that I filmed for that about an hour in, I think. And the very first estimate, which I did mention in there, and I mentioned the second estimate, yeah. The first estimate was 4 hours. And the second estimate was about 90 minutes more, so maybe closer to 2 hours. And so it turned out to be, the first estimate was actually correct. It took 4 hours. If you watched to the end of that video, I said, after 4 anxiety-ridden hours, the tow truck arrived. Okay, so I just wanted to comment a little bit on that because I was pretty frustrated with AAA. You know, I've been a member since 1989, premium member, and you'd think in a downtown city area, it would be pretty quick to get a tow truck. But now there are a couple of factors to consider. Okay, I don't have a tire, I don't have a spare. The reason I had to get a tow truck was because I didn't have a spare. Now this is my fault and something that I'm correcting. I can't believe I did that whole trip across the country. I spent a month driving across the country, staying with friends, going here and there, doing this, and driving for 2 years, never had a flat. It's pretty remarkable. And didn't know that there wasn't, you know, when you buy a car, you need to have them open the back end and go, it was my third Prius. I had the donut wheel in the other two. I used them. So I guess I just didn't even look that day. I don't know. Don't remember. I was just determined to buy a red one, and it was hard to find. You know, the 2020s were out, and I said, no, I want a 2019, you know, because they were less money. And so she had to find one. She actually went out of her way, went down to get it herself and bring it back up there, you know, down from I don't know, Torrance or someplace south of Santa Monica. So anyway, I didn't have a spare. Otherwise, the road service maintenance people would have had me back on the road probably 15 minutes after I stopped. So the major factor of trying to find someone, a tow truck, for AAA to find a tow truck, first of all, was explained to me by the driver that did pick me up. He said that, I said, why did this happen? Why is this so hard? Is it because of the Super Bowl? You know, I mean, is no one working? What? You know, and he said, first of all, you have to have something like $1 million worth of insurance. You have to carry that much insurance, so you've got to be a reputable company. He said you can't have any drivers that have any kind of record. Something, you know, unless you're in this business, I wouldn't even think about that. But yeah, they can't have any kind of record. And he said some other tow service, you know, you might get a driver that's got some kind of record. I don't know how that would make a difference if they're really good and they're trying to make a living. But anyway, that's what AAA requires. And so, and then you get to be a night like and at night, and you get to be a night, you know, when the daytime people are gone home, I guess. You have fewer to choose from, and they had to find someone that could actually drive me the hour to bring me home, because I couldn't drop it off somewhere in Nashville. What on earth? You know, I had a trunk full of groceries, 10 gallons of water. You know, it was, plus I'm just not going to leave my car somewhere that I've never, you know, taken it to. So it needed to go all the way to Cookeville, but of course Toyota was closed. So if it had just been the tire I don't even know, I mean, everything was closed. It was literally 11 p.m. when he picked me up, and I got home at midnight. So this is just, that's just the way that worked out. A number of people have written me and given me all kinds of advice about what you should have in your car at all times, especially a woman, but anyone, And some of the items are a complete bug out bag. And I have a bug out bag in there, but it's sitting in my kitchen. But what I did have, I did have a number of the things that they mentioned. I had a sleeping bag. I always have a sleeping bag. It's a down to zero sleeping bag. That's always in my back and in my back trunk. And I have a knife, very sharp knife. And I have, you should have a flashlight. And I have a flashlight, a small one in my purse, always, and my knife in my purse. But I didn't have a big one, a big flashlight. And I think it would be really beneficial to have a big flashlight, so you can really see, so you don't have to stand there and hold it. I just have the pin light, that you hold, or the one on my phone. And everybody said you should have a phone bank. Well, the Prius that I have has the pad, the charging pad, and I had half a tank of gas. And so in the Prius that lasts a long time. So I knew, and I kept firing up the engine every so often to keep a charge on the phone. So, but now if you were stranded for 9, 10, 15 hours, or you're stranding in the middle of nowhere, you need to be so much more prepared even than what I'm saying. But you should have a first aid kit in your car. I do. And what are some of the other, of course, water, which I had a lot of water. And they said snacks. And I always have something in there that's a food item. But that night I had just come from the grocery store, so I had all those groceries. So I had no problem there, and it wasn't that cold that night. So all of those things. Toilet paper, which I needed and didn't have. Although I think I have tissue in the back seat. But you should have toilet paper, tissue, paper towel, trash bags, even a change of clothing, And another great thing, I had hand sanitizer, because we just sort of, have 5 of those left over from that whole thing for the last 2 years. But just cleanup wipes would be a really great thing to have, a package of those in the car. They dry out though. You buy one of those, you open it, you use one, you close it, use another one for 3 months, you open it, and the rest of the whole pack is dried out. So that's tough, but if you have a rag and you have a small towel and you have water, you can do some cleanup. So what are some of the other things? Of course, you need to have your roadside assistance, some kind. State Farm has it. I didn't even think to call them, although I do have State Farm. I just had AAA so long, that's what I thought to call. And someone said I should have the Tennessee Highway Patrol number in my phone. That had never occurred to me. I didn't even think to call the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Someone said to call the police. I actually wound up doing that. This happened after the video, so you don't know about this. So I am starting to get extremely anxious because I have not physically gotten a call from a tow truck driver to know that one has actually been assigned to me and is coming. And it's been 3 hours. And it's all still vague every time I call. So they were still looking. And so I just finally decided I would call the police. And so I did. And I thought, they're like that. I'm going to be embarrassed because I'm not really, it's a dangerous place. Traffic is whizzing by, but I'm not, So I was a little embarrassed about it, but I called up, had them on the phone, and this car stops in front of me. Down about 2 of those traffic lights, so it's a ways down. And this man gets out, mean, you could kind of tell the way he walked. He was a man, and tall and thin, and he was wearing a black sweatshirt. We make our, I was like, I was kind of on alert, and I thought, but he didn't have the hood up. That was good. Of course, it wasn't cold. But he's walking up to me, and his right hand is in the pocket. Now, if you've watched Active Self-Protection, the channel on YouTube, very successful channel, and he goes through and he details how all of these crimes happened, how people should have responded to this situation, and so forth. And so he's walking towards me, and his right hand is in his pocket, and I'm thinking, why is his hand in his pocket? And so, of course, in my anxious state, I just didn't know what to think. But I had her on the phone. Anyway, turns out he was just a kind person. I cracked the window a little bit, and he said, I just wanted to check on you, make sure you're, and then he went like that, make sure you're okay. This just happened to me like a couple of weeks ago. I just want to make sure you're okay. And I thought, that what a great young man, I mean, that was just so kind, and I'm grateful. I didn't get his name or anything because police is on the phone. Anyway, so 1 hour goes by. The police never came. I got 3 more phone calls. Where are you? We can't find you. The cleanup crew guys that stopped right away gave me the exact mile marker, told me exactly how to say it. You're on I-40 eastbound at mile marker 207.2. The police couldn't find me. I guess I needed to call the highway patrol. Anyway, at one point I saw a police car racing across the next overpass going that way, and I thought, that was probably for me. But anyway, as the tow truck driver was just pulling up, they called again. I said, I don't think I need you. I've got help now. So that's how that went. I just also wanted to mention one other thing is like the next day, that night. Let's see. I wanted to mention, I already told you what he told me about the drivers the companies have to have so much liability insurance, and all the drivers have to have these clean records, and these tow trucks with the bed that goes up and down, they cost a lot of money. And so in order to be a AAA contractor, the trucks have to be inspected or something. So, it's kind of rigorous. I'm sorry, this itches. This poison ivy I got here itches. But then the next day, I call up about 11 o'clock, and I get the national line. She gives me, I tell her what I need, that a car needs to be towed to Cookeville, and she transferred me to Tennessee. She set it all up, and they were literally here like in less than 30 minutes. And I wasn't in a dangerous situation. This is what you always need to say. If you're in a situation like that, you say, they do ask as soon as they call, are you in a safe location? You say, no, I'm not. Any one of those cars could have. Well, anyway, it all worked out. I only have to pay about $2,000. No, it's more than that, because the tires needed rotating, and new tire, new rim, new hubcap, new tire sensor. That's $150. I guess that's what tells you if the tire goes low, And labor was $400, and then I said, well, listen, I have to have a spare. And did you know the spare costs twice as much as the regular tire? The spare is $600. A little donut thing that goes in the back. They get you one way or another. So, I have to have it. It's either that or buy a regular tire and have it taking up half of my trunk always when I'm in that car. So it would be a lot easier than getting out that little dinky thing and getting that on, but I went ahead and said I'd buy it. Yes, I could go to a junkyard and maybe find one and do all that search, but I have so much to do. I'm just going to bite the bullet and take care of it. So I just wanted to give you an update about all that. Thank you so much for listening. And if you are interested in following my journey here to build a sustainable homestead, I hope you'll subscribe and click that bell for notifications. Scroll down and click all so you won't miss any of the action. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.